Have you ever wondered why it's so hard to set boundaries or walk away from relationships that no longer serve you? Could it be that the real starting place isn't the boundary itself, but learning how to respect yourself enough to believe that you're worthy of more? Hello everyone, welcome back to Beloved. I'm Cherise Rochelle, and as we continue in the general theme of boundaries, today we're talking about learning how to respect yourself. Because boundaries, grieving unhealthy friendships, and stepping into new healthy relationships, all the things that we've talked about in the past episodes, don't really work unless they're rooted in self-respect. Self-respect is not arrogance. It isn't pride. It's simply living in alignment with how God sees you. Precious, worthy, chosen, and beloved. When you start there, boundaries stop feeling like punishment, and walking away stops feeling like abandonment. They become acts of love for God's creation, which includes you. Self-respect begins with God's view of you. Respecting yourself doesn't start with achievements, success, or approval from others. It begins with identity. Psalm chapter 139 verse 14 says, "I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made." God created you with care, intention, and worth. When you learn to see yourself through His eyes, you stop treating self-respect as something that you earn, and you begin embracing it as something you inherit. And this is key. Self-respect, again, is not arrogance. Arrogance says, "I'm better than others," and self-respect says, "I'm worthy because God says I am." There's no competition, just alignment with truth. So why does self-respect come before boundaries? In our past episodes, we talked about boundaries, setting them, not feeling guilty, and walking away from relationships that dishonor us. But here's the truth. Without self-respect, boundaries do not hold. You might set a boundary and then you'll explain it away. You might walk away, but then run back. You might say no, but inside, you feel guilty for doing so. Boundaries stick when they're backed by belief. Belief in your worth, your value, and the fact that God entrusted you to protect your own heart. Proverbs chapter 4 verse 23 says, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." Respecting yourself is the soil where healthy boundaries grow. You have to respect yourself despite your circumstances. Sometimes we settle for less, not because we don't know we're worth more, but because fear convinces us what we deserve is out of reach. We tell ourselves, better isn't possible. No one else will love me like this. My dreams cost too much or take too long. Fear and scarcity disguise themselves as wisdom, but really, they're chains. Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Respecting yourself means refusing to shrink your worth to fit your circumstances. It's saying, even if I don't see it yet, God's promise for me is bigger than what I'm settling for right now. Respecting yourself also means refusing to betray yourself in order to be loved, accepted, or chosen. This looks like no longer chasing people who show you that they don't value your presence, refusing to silence your voice just to keep the peace, and choosing not to excuse repeated harm under the label of grace. Matthew chapter 7 verse 6 says, "Do not give dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to pigs. You are a pearl." Self-respect means recognizing your value and making sure that those around you do too. And yes, this ties directly back to grieving friendships and letting go of relationships. Sometimes respecting yourself means realizing that certain connections cannot come with you into your healed, whole, and God-aligned life. Respect is choosing growth over comfort. Growth will almost always require letting go of comfort. Self-respect is what gives you courage to make that choice. Ephesians chapter 4 verse 22 to 24 says, "Put off your old self and put on the new self, created to be like God in true righteousness and holiness." Respecting yourself means saying, I won't stay where I was because God is calling me higher. It's not easy, it might be lonely, but loneliness with integrity is better than company that costs you your soul. Isaiah chapter 43 verse 19 says, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it?" This week, ask yourself, where am I dishonoring myself right now? In my words, my choices, or my relationships? What boundary would feel easier if it flowed from deep self-respect rather than guilt or fear? What is one step of growth I've been afraid to take, and how might self-respect call me into it? Write it down, pray about it, and let God show you the areas where you've been settling beneath His best. Today's affirmation is, I respect myself because God respects me. I honor my worth, I protect my peace, and I walk in alignment with His truth. My worth is not negotiable. And we will close on this verse, Isaiah chapter 43 verse 4. Since you are precious and honored in my sight, and because I love you. God has already declared you're worthy of honor. Your self-respect is just agreeing with what He's already said about you. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if this episode encouraged you, I would love to hear from you. If you have any comments or queries, please feel free to reach out to me at belovedwithcherise@gmail.com or share this with a friend who needs a reminder of their worth. And don't forget, you can subscribe to my Substack for deeper reflections and resources to keep walking this journey of healing and growth. Remember this, respecting yourself isn't selfish, it's sacred. It's living in alignment with who God already says that you are. Until next time, stay rooted in truth, wrapped in grace, and always remember, you are beloved.